Yuna by Lily Taylor. I blinked a few times. Had I done it? And then I started laughing. Really laughing. My girlfriend was taken 1 month ago, and now I'm about to bring her back without the sodding police. Back home. Back to me. I felt like I was floating. Joy bubbling over inside me, my eyes unfocused so that the light of the laptop blurred and all I could see was her. There hasn't been a second these past 30 days that I haven't spent looking for her, and now she's so close to me. I can feel her radiance, the way she shines. Her black, gorgeous hair that she lets me brush while she talks about God knows what. Her hazel eyes that always glaze over when she's talking about her passions. Her perfect voice, soothing, no matter what she says, no matter what my day was like. Yuna. Tears pricked my eyes. I could see her clear as day. I had been there. I had watched her being taken away. Memories of that day haunt me in my dreams. Most nights spent in a hellish haze. Just last night, I dreamt of chasing the back of that big, black Range Rover, looking into the back window and seeing only Yuna's wide, terrified eyes. Just how everything had felt all those days ago. That look in her eyes pains me every time I close my eyes, and I hate myself for not being able to protect her. My guilt was somewhat subsided by my determination. All feelings suppressed somewhat in my burning and absolute need to get her safe and home. I still felt sick at the thought of what he could be doing to her. So that's why I spent every waking moment looking for her. You would think I'd be tired, as I scarcely allowed myself to rest to avoid wasting time and the nightmares, but I was wide awake, more energized. I knew deep down I was physically suffering, but it was all worth it. Because now, I know where she is. I worked hard to find out who he is, spending hours upon hours poring through dealership records I bribed with a junior employee until I found him. I was lucky I got a glimpse of him as he stole her away. I immediately recognized his ID on the documents. After I had his name, everything else fell into place. I called him to his place of work, Yuna's old job, under the pretense of being an old friend, and it didn't take long to discover his social circles, mostly yachting clubs. When I asked around at his groups, I found a lot of useless information. He was 6'1", he was a Taurus. He had once done a toothpaste advert when he was 7 and much of the same. My blood boiled as they talked about him. As a friend, as a person, as anything but foul, festering, evil scum. And yet I kept it in. And luckily so, as I had found something of vital importance. He was a rich boy. Both his parents disgustingly wealthy, so disgustingly wealthy that they could afford a holiday home down in Cornwall. They used it so little, they'd started renting it out. They had a listing on Airbnb. Did I want to see? It had temporarily been made inexplicably unavailable, but it really was such a lovely cottage. I raced home as soon as they told me what to search up. I had the address in front of me. I knew where he had her. It really is a lovely house. His friends were right. I decided that the window is my best bet. The shattering of the pain is deafening, but that's what I want, because now she knows I found her. As I carefully step through the jagged glass onto the plush carpet, I hear footsteps. It'll be him. All the feelings I've been ignoring suddenly blinded me at the thought he was here. I am near him. The dirt that took her from me. Rage makes me dizzy as I hear him in the hallway. He enters the threshold and suddenly I'm above him on the ground, pinning him down by the shoulders. What did you do to her? My voice is shaky. I had tried not to think about how much I hate him because it was only a distraction from Yuna, but now it consumed me. The look of terror in his eyes gives me a sick satisfaction. He breathes out a teary breath. I want to see him sob now. What's wrong with you? He whispers. My eye twitches, and without a second thought, I pick up a glass shard and drive it into his chest. I don't care that my hand was cut, and I don't care when I pick up every shard in sight and force them into his skin anywhere I can find. Blood weeps and dribbles from his mouth, and he makes a satisfying pain wheeze at every impact. This goes on for a few more minutes until he stops wheezing, and I remove myself from him, chest heaving. I stare down at the monster lying dead on the ground. His pretty boy face was sickly. His pretty boy eyes were glassy, his stupid pretty boy shirt stained with crimson, decorated in transparent shards. I tear my eyes away when I hear more creaks on the ancient floorboards, and without another thought, I rush to climb the stairs. A goofy smile plays across my face. Yuna! Yuna, I'm here, where are you? But my question is answered when I enter through a thick oak door, and there she is, sitting on the bed, dainty hands covering her face, tears streaming down her face. My heart warms. She's just as moved as I am. I run to her, wrapping my arms around her. It was like breathing after being submerged for hours. She was my air. I pressed my face into her neck. I felt her shoulders rise and fall with sobs. You don't have to worry. I'm here now. You. Is he dead? She whispered, but I cut her off. It's okay, Yuna. You're safe now. No, I'm not. Her tears wet my shoulder. Yuna? I pulled away to look at her. She wasn't crying anymore, but her eyes were unseeing, staring blankly into the dusty room. Yuna? Why can't I ever escape you?